this water here, what we'll be changing here is we would be sealing the escutcheon ring up here and the joint here, which I can actually see through. That'll prevent smoke and flames from getting up into your attic and burning down your house faster than normal. This is B pipe, which is perfect. You've got A pipe here, which is all perfect. Now, we've got some other challenges here, which is the thermal expansion tank is improperly strapped. It's supposed to have a bracket designed just to hold the expansion tank, and it's got to be mounted on the wall or on the ceiling. Currently, they just mounted it on the copper pipe, which hooking up a steel tank to copper creates corrosion. So this is an improper way to hook it up. This valve up here, which you can barely see, is a gate valve, and it's been leaking a little bit. We will be changing that valve, and we won't be installing another gate valve. We will install a ball valve, which is a much higher quality valve. The insulation up here does not meet current code. 2, there should be special fittings here and here to get the exhaust, get the water pipes away from the exhaust so you can insulate more of the pipe, which saves the customer money over time. Now, the water heater itself. This is a pressure and temperature relief valve. It's a very important safety device that helps keep the water heater from blowing up when there's certain conditions. Now, these are hot. That costs the customer money because the heat radiates off them. It should be insulated, and at least 6 inches of this pipe should be insulated also and rehooked. Now, if you look, this pipe is actually level or slightly going uphill, which is not code. This side should have been shorter so there'd be more of a slope so it would drain proper. Now, apparently the last guy had a hard time finding the stud. Obviously it looks like termites have been eating on this thing. Now we will install 2 new earthquake straps, and this strap is actually too high and this one's about the right location. Problem is, this water heater during an earthquake will hit the sheetrock and just bust it out, loosen up, flop around, burn down the house. You must protect the sheetrock from the water heater, and you do that by adding 2 2x6s behind it to protect the sheetrock from the earthquake. And we use 2x6s because this is a 75-gallon water heater, so you want bigger boards back there. Now, the drain valve should have a brass cap on it at all times, because if a kid ever gets curious and turns that valve open, they're going to the hospital. 2, this valve has been leaking and has damaged the stand, the sheetrock on the stand. So we always put a brass cap on them. Also, it's illegal to install this gas valve in the state of California. So we'd be changing that gas valve out also. And this is a sediment trap, important device to help clean or scrub the gas before it goes into the control valve to be burned. The problem is it's actually located in the wrong place. It's supposed to be over here. Now, this is a gas line that is very small, cheap. We actually install gas lines that are bigger diameters, so the water heater will get better gas flow to it, especially on a 75-gallon water heater. Now, you're supposed to have a weaver clamp right here and a weaver clamp that goes to the cold water side right here. And there should be a bonding wire running between the two. And on this water heater, it was never installed. Now, this water heater should have a pan under it. The purpose of the pan is when and if the water heater ever leaks, it collects the water and runs it to the outside of the building where it cannot harm the house. They just didn't put one on here. And this stand does have water damage right here. You can tell by the sound of the sheetrock. So we got to fix that water damage before we put the pan under it and run it outside. Now this is an impact post. It's supposed to protect the water heater from impacts of cars. Important safety device is supposed to be a minimum of 5 feet tall, Schedule 40, 3-inch water pipe filled with concrete and sunk into the ground 2 feet with 12 inches of concrete around it. And this water heater has it, so that's fine. And that's it. Those are the improvements that I would recommend.